You are Locked On Packers, your daily Green Bay Packers podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
You are Locked On Packers, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. I'm Peter Bukowski, and I cover the Packers for The Leap, a newsletter I would love for you to subscribe to at theleap.substack.com. Follow me on Twitter at Peter_Bukowski. Follow the podcast on Twitter at Locked On Packers. Like us on Facebook. Subscribe to the podcast on iTunes, on Spotify, on Google Podcasts. Wherever you find podcasts, you will find Locked On Packers, the #1 Packers podcast on the internet. And the show for fans who know what happened, they want to know why and how. Subscribe to us on YouTube. And of course, I want to thank everyone who makes Locked On Packers their first listen of the day. If you don't, why not? Try it out. I think you will like it. And we are going to have, of course, our friend, everyone's favorite, Lily Zhao, is going to be on the show today. Zhao You Doing is back in full effect. 2 wins in a row with Lily Zhao now. And we'll just forget about what happened in week 1. That's probably a prudent thing to do in any event. So I want to start, though, with something that when Jason, America's guest, Jason Hirschhorn, who was on the show yesterday and is my co-founder at The Leap, when he brought this up, I thought, what a great piece of insight that the Packers were able to have offensive success despite not playing the traditional Shanahan scheme. They didn't go heavy play action. They didn't go a bunch of outside zones and boot actions and shot play. It wasn't dagger and Yankee and flood concepts. It wasn't like that. It was, we understand that, or we believe, not that we understand, we believe that we have to play this certain kind of way, and not just we have to, we get to, we can, and that way can be successful. What they found was a way to marry a way that Rodgers might want to play anyway, and that still keeps in concert with some of their base ideas. And luckily, guys like Devontae Adams, Randall Cobb, they know, the playbook beyond the Matt LaFleur offense, the traditional West Coast staples. And of course, they're going to be able to pick up quickly. Alan Lazard, MVS, those guys are veterans now. I mean, this is a veteran team by and large. And so when they go, all right, we're going to change this up. We're going to run a lot more empty. We're going to run a lot more 5-man protections and find a lot of RPO. The RPO, as Jason pointed out, is part of the core ideology of this offense. It's just not something the Packers had always done. A lot of the empty, that's part of the offense. It's just not something that they've done this way as much as they did on Sunday. And the play action numbers, along with the time to throw numbers, they're startling. I mean, they are striking. So Aaron Rodgers, this is Pro Football Focus charting. He had just 3 play action attempts on Sunday night. On the show yesterday, Jason and I, we were saying 8, 9, maybe somewhere in there on 30 plus attempts. No, 3 true play action plays. Now Rodgers was 3 for 3 for 8 yards and a touchdown on those plays. Cool. But that's a very, very, very low number. We're talking about 10% of the attempts were play action. That's a pretty small number. But that means in the drop back game, he was really good because the vast majority of the offense was in the drop back game. So 20 for 30 for 253 and a touchdown. That's over 8 yards a pass. That's really good. And the reason it was really good is because he got the ball out quickly. In fact, no one in week 3 got the ball out faster on average than Aaron Rodgers. And it wasn't really that close. 2.17 seconds was the average time to throw for Aaron Rodgers. So a lot of those RPO screen concepts, get the ball out to Devontae Adams and let him go work. Or hand it to Aaron Jones, AJ Dillon, etc. And even on some of the routes down the field. And this is the key. This is what makes Aaron Rodgers special. It's what makes this Green Bay Packers offense potentially special. They don't have to sacrifice to run quick game. No one in the league had a deeper average depth of target when throwing in under 2.5 seconds. So when they throw quickly, no one had a higher ADOT than Aaron Rodgers in week 3. And it's not close. Aaron Rodgers, 9.9 ADOT. The next closest was Ryan Tannehill, 7.8. So a 2-yard difference, average depth of target, when he threw it in under 2.5 seconds. And that includes all of those short passes. Finding ways to get the ball out quickly and still push defenses, to still threaten defenses over the top. That is a unique thing very few teams in the league can pull off. And what is particularly great about it is they can do it off a number of formations. They can do it with a number of receivers, transition go to Allen Lazard on a slot fade. I guess it's a transition slot fade. You can pick up 40 yards on 3rd and short. You can pick up 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 20 yards all day, Davante Adams back shoulder, or over the top Davante Adams. His ability to win in a hurry, his ability and his connection with Aaron Rodgers. And then you get the MVS stuff, the shot plays, and the MVS play, not even off play action. So they're able to press defenses without getting to the play action. That, I think, is the next step for this defense or this offense, because you're going to see these teams play the 2 deep safeties. You have to find ways to attack them that isn't just play action. Now, a lot of these quarters teams, they want to crash hard on play action so you can get them, like the Packers did against the Rams, like they did against the Saints last year. But then there are some teams, the Saints did it in week 1. We're just not going to honor the play action. Just not going to honor it. We're not going to crash hard as safeties. If you want to pick up a bunch of yards on the ground, if you want to get 4, 5, 6 yards a carry, be our guest. We think our front can hold up, and we don't think you can beat us over the top. So you have to do a couple different things. You have to force those safeties to play, and you have to do it in a way that also is not super high variance. So you have to mix the deep passing with the short passes. You have to make sure you can get those quick throws out, those screens, and pick up yardage. They did it to Robert Tonyan. They did it to Davante Adams. I think they could. There are more opportunities out there for Randall Cobb, for Amari Rodgers, even Allen Lazard, to make plays on those quick, short passes. I'd love to see the RPO into the glance route. I'd love to see that more. That is a quick throw, and no one is better in the league at running those little inbreakers than Davante Adams. I think Randall Cobb from the slot, threatening defenses in the middle of the field, something that you could see there. There are a lot of different ways. Aaron Rodgers talked about this in the preseason. He said the way that they have to move forward is this offense cannot just be what it was last year. They have to find ways to push it, to elevate it, to add to it. When you can do this, now you're saying, okay, you want to play 2 high safeties. Okay, we're going to demand that your 2 high safeties cover. We're going to make you make decisions, and we're going to put you in a bind. And if you want to do that, cool. We are going to stress your discipline, and we're going to run the dig with the post, make your safety make a decision. And if your safety crashes on that inbreaker, it's a post in behind, and it's a big play. That's what they did to MVS. These are classic quarters beaters, classic. And they're able to get to them off the drop back game. And part of the reason you can do it off the drop back game is you ran the ball relatively effectively. In the spread, they don't know what's coming, because it's not just, oh, we're going to sit on the short stuff. It's not like that. You can't just sit on, okay, we think we can get pressure on your offensive line. You've got Yash Nijman out there. You've got 2 rookies. We think we can win one-on-one early. Okay, here we go. I'm getting the ball out quick. And not only am I getting the ball out quick, it's not just hitch, slant, out, stop. It's not just the base 3-step drop, 1-step drop stuff. It's not just screens. And I would like to see them get some opportunities for some guys who are a little bit better after the catch in those situations. Not that Devontae Adams isn't good. He is. But let's see Randall Cobb in some of those screen situations. Let's see him go make a play. Let's see Amari Rodgers in those situations. Let's see him go make a play. I'd like to see them stretch these teams horizontally a little bit more. Give a jet sweep. They're doing a decent job creating motion and forcing linebackers to be disciplined with their eyes. Do it more. I think we could see that part of the game. They haven't, I don't think they've given a jet sweep in a meaningful moment yet this season. They gave it to Randall Cobb, but Jordan Love was the quarterback, and that tells you everything you need to know about the circumstances of that play. So finding ways and finding success, not just finding ways, finding success. I've said this before. When Aaron Rodgers said after week 1, we're going to figure out a way by Sunday, by next week, to deal with these 2 high safeties, I assumed that was just a thing you say. They did it. And I thought it was awesome. Aaron Rodgers on Pat McAfee's show on Tuesday, Aaron Rodgers Tuesdays, said, I haven't seen Matt LaFleur in 2 days. He's probably, he's in a bunker somewhere grinding tape. He probably put the game to bed on the airplane on Sunday. Matt LaFleur, there was the icy handshake at the end of the game. There was the report that maybe there's some tension between him and Kyle Shanahan because of what happened in the offseason. Shanny's whispering sweet nothings in Aaron Rodgers' ear. Ian Rappaport saying the 49ers were his preferred destination. And if you're Matt LaFleur, it would be natural. I'm not saying this is the case. I don't know. But it would be natural for Matt LaFleur to go, this is messed up. You're supposed to be my friend. This is messed up. That you're trying to pry my quarterback away and just be annoyed at the situation in general. It would be natural. Let's just say that. It would be natural. I don't know if that's how he's feeling. It would be natural if that's how he's feeling. Maybe we're going to see pissed off Matt LaFleur. We're going to see chip on his shoulder Matt LaFleur. And if the last year and a half is any indication, that version could be really good, because when he puts his mind to something, the all gas, no break week against the Raiders, Aaron Rodgers, perfect passer rating. Now, he was like, let's have that mentality every week, and it doesn't work every week necessarily. But when he puts his mind to something, he has proven to be an extremely, extremely capable coach. And I think the Packers should have a lot of faith that they're going to find and continue to find answers and options. Now, teams are going to fight back. They're going to have counters to the counter. And then the Packers have to have counters to the counter to the counter. This is all one big cat and mouse game. But to go out against a San Francisco defense that had the perfect formula to beat them, we've got good safeties, good linebackers, and a really good front. Some questions at corner, obviously. But we think we can pressure you. No, you can't. We're going to play press man. Cool. We're going to run by you. We're still going to hit shot plays over the top. We're still going to run the ball effectively. And we don't need play action. Now, do I think they could have used it more? Yeah, I do. I think play action takes the pressure off your offensive linemen by slowing down the pass rush, because they've got to play the pass through the run, even if they're doing that. But they probably didn't want Aaron Rodgers turning his back to the defense, and now all of a sudden there's someone in his face. You want to see and be able to feel the rush at all times. I get that. Maybe there are opportunities to do a little bit more play action from the gun, from the pistol. I mean, that could be a little wrinkle here. Some more of the touchdown to Devontae Adams was a thing of freaking beauty. I mean, you fake the push pass that they run the week before with Aaron Jones, that they've run with Devontae Adams before, and you come back with it the other way. Gorgeous. How about some true RPO? Some post-snap RPO where you read the conflict defender, put the ball in the stomach of the running back and decide give or throw. How about just pure play action from the gun? Is it going to be as effective? No. Could it give you that extra quarter second that you might need to find the receiver? It could. It could. So there are still ways that they can continue to evolve this offense. And as Jason and I talked about yesterday, I think it is a great sign for this offense that they found some of those counters in such a pivotal moment with real adversity with the offensive line and a road test that they were able to do it. I think that bodes well for their ability to have adversity and counter it moving forward. Today's episode is brought to you by our friends at Bet Online. We're back and better than ever. All eyes are on the gridiron as teams come to play this season. As always, BetOnline is your number one spot for all your pro and college action. With new updated site and interface, even more odds, props, and contests, betonline.ag continues to be the number one source for everything football. Head to the website or use your mobile device and sign up today to receive a 100% welcome bonus when you use the promo code Locked On. From football, basketball, boxing, basketball, by the way, right around the corner. It's coming back. BetOnline is the fastest and easiest way to bet on all your favorite sports. When you use that promo code Locked On, they will match that first deposit up to 100%. I have something very important to tell you about. Stop throwing money away at the pump. This is something I'm particularly aware of. I got a new truck, an SUV, and it eats up gas. And so I'm filling up more than I would like. But if you're smart, you are making up to 25 cents for every gallon of gas every time you fill up with the free Get Upside app in the App Store or Google Play right now. Use the promo code Touchdown and get a bonus 25 cents per gallon on your first fill up. That's up to 50 cents cash back. Don't pay full price at the pump anymore. Get cash back using Get Upside. Just download the app for free and use the promo code Touchdown to get that extra 50 cents cash back on your first tank. Some people who drive a lot are making as much as $200 or $300 a month in cash back. There's no catch. The cash back gets added right to your account. Cash out anytime. PayPal, e-gift card, Amazon, other brands, right into your bank account. Whatever you want. Just download the free Get Upside app and use promo code Touchdown. That's promo code Touchdown. 2 weeks in a row, we get Lily Zhao after a win, and a thrilling win at that. Joining me, of course, for Zhao You Doing, Fox 6's Lily Zhao. And we have a lot to discuss, a dramatic win and another big game coming up. Lily, Zhao You Doing?
Peter, I am doing fantastic. It has been such a whirlwind, I feel like, for everybody in Wisconsin, or just Wisconsin fans in general. So it's kind of tapering down, but not so much. But the Packers got a win to really round out the weekend. So I'm doing great. How you doing?
I am very good. The Ryder Cup on Saturday, incredible. Saturday was an amazing day, minus the Notre Dame Wisconsin game.
I was there for that, not good.
It was a great weekend overall. The Packers get the win. The Brewers clinch the division. Hopefully a lot more big Brewers moments coming up, and hopefully a lot more Packers moments coming up. Let's start with Sunday. With 37 seconds left and Aaron Rodgers getting the ball, no timeouts. How confident, like on a scale of 1 to 10, how confident were you that they were going to go down the field and at least have a chance to kick the field goal?
I feel like if it was a touchdown, that would have been a different story. Like you have 37 seconds to score a touchdown. Right. The odds would have been obviously a lot less. But I feel like just to get Mason in range, and you had, it was like 40 yards to go or something like that. I in my heart of hearts, I was like, they can do it. Like, they just got to move the ball. I mean, it's obviously they didn't have timeouts. You can't do anything crazy and fancy, but like, I at least thought that they can get it in range for him to kick it. Again, if it was a touchdown, different story, but luckily Mason Crosby has a phenomenal leg. So that did them well. But I will say, though, like those two throws to Devontae, I just was like, oh, it's going to happen. Because that first one, I'm like, okay, we're good. We're good to go.
It did seem that way. Like when he dropped back, when Rodgers drops back and is looking deep, I think like everyone's reaction is like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, like good and bad. It's like, okay, this could go really wrong or this could go really right. And it was really right. The throw on the first one was unbelievable. And I think, especially after that first one, it was like, okay, they needed like 15 more yards after that. And I think it was like, okay, they not even just they can do this. It was like, they got this.
Oh yeah. And that's the thing. It's, again, Mason doesn't need, you don't have to get Mason to the 20-yard line for make field goal, right? So right. It's, when Devontae got across midfield, I'm like, all right, this is good. They can do it. Made another nice pass to him and they were in business. And luckily, he was able to walk it off. And it just was one of those games where I think it kind of like sucked for me though, because I was in the studio that day. So I was doing a sportscast while it was happening, but it was during intermittent. I'm like, I probably shouldn't be saying this, but I'm like, during intermittent things where like I wasn't on camera, I was like crouching down to watch the TV to make sure and see what happened. And I kid you not, in our last story, I'm looking at it and he makes the field goal. So then we went on air 2 seconds after it happened. We were like, the Packers just won. So it was a crazy weekend.
But that is the beauty of live TV. It is the beauty of live sports. those are really the moments that you live for, right? I mean, we went live right after it happened, not live the same way you did. We were live on YouTube, and everyone was just like going crazy in the comments. It was a really fun time. This is why sports are the best. That's what it is. Offensive line, I think was a big question coming in. And you've got the 2 rookie starters, and you've got John Runyon Jr. in his first game as like, okay, we think you're the guy now. And then they go to Yash Nijman, a guy who I don't think anyone would have predicted would have been the guy to step in there and start at left tackle after a little bit of a rough start. He really played well. Does it change your level of confidence going against a Pittsburgh Steelers defense this week that this offensive line can hold up at home after what they did to San Francisco?
I think so. And obviously the Steelers defense is still very good. And I think obviously the game plan was just get the ball out quick, because then those guys don't have time to rush you, right? And that's what he did multiple times. Aaron Rodgers got the ball out super quick. Yash did have some growing pains, but it was his first career start for the Packers. It's expected, but he got a lot of help though from other guys who were able to help him block and up front. And it was just encouraging to see though, because especially when you don't have Elton Jenkins and then you don't have David Bakhtiari, it's like you have 2 really good guys that aren't on the offensive line, and the way they were able to hold up and not have Nick Bosa really create any sort of havoc on Aaron Rodgers was very encouraging to see. So I thought they did a really good job.
And Rodgers has to get the ball out too. I mean, that's part of the thing. Like it's one thing to say we're going to try and do this, get the ball out. It's another thing to have, number one, plays called where that's possible, the players to do it, and a quarterback who's going to make it happen. I mean, we saw the reverse of this in Chicago, where they're like, okay, Justin Fields, we're going to go a bunch of empty 5-man protections, get the ball out. And it was yeesh. So this, I thought, was a really good sign for them offensively. What about defensively? Because they start off the game really well. The special teams gaff sets up a touchdown at the end of the first half. And then the second half, a lot of penalties. There was some sloppiness. I thought some calls that weren't particularly good. What did you think of Joe Barry's defense?
I thought it made a big step. And obviously, they gave up a touchdown late, obviously, which, the Niners took the lead. But I thought they made strides. It's, the first half was very encouraging. They got some stops. They got 2 takeaways in the game, as in the entire game. And that's what you want to see, right? It was the first 2 weeks they weren't able to really create any sort of takeaways. And obviously the offense only had 3 points to show for it, but that's what you want to see down the road, right? They get some takeaways. You can at least get a touchdown out of that. So I thought it was an encouraging step. They did a really good job against the run, and that's what you wanted to see, 67 yards rushing to the Niners. But I think it's moving forward. It's how do they build upon this, though? Because, yeah, there were a couple flags thrown toward Eric Stokes' way, and there's some growing pains there as well. And some other flags like the one with Jair, where it's kind of like, come on, when he's roughing the passer, quote unquote. So, it wasn't a perfect performance, but I feel like they're making strides in week 3, and that's what you want to see, right? You want to see this defense improve, and I think takeaways and kind of getting to was an improvement.
Is this Eric Stokes' job now? Is he the cornerback too?
I know a lot of people, and I saw your tweet as well, right? When Kevin King was ruled out due to illness, it's like, don't root for a guy because he's sick and he's out of the game. Like, that's not what we want, right? And I will say though, Eric Stokes in the game, he was always there with the receiver. It was what you wanted to see, and I do believe that whether Kevin should be back on Sunday, but I do feel like Eric Stokes deserves a lot more snaps. And maybe this is a game in week 4 where if King is back and they have Stokes in, we'll give him a little bit more, and then maybe in week 5 it's his job for the taking. But I'm very encouraged by what I saw from him for sure.
Do we have to talk about TJ Watt versus Kevin King this week? Do we have to? I don't even want your take. I just want to know, do we have to talk about it?
We don't have to, but it's going to be talked about in the national media. 100%. I've already seen someone saying like it was a king-size blunder, something. So
that's a pretty good headline, though. I have to say that. I mean, like, if you're going to do it, like, at least have a nice little wordplay. That works.
Yeah, but we don't have to talk about it. But we know he's coming to town, and obviously he was injured. Got a lot of money. But all the monies. But the guy can play, and it's just kind of a what-if game. But at this point, it's like they didn't draft him. They didn't take him. So
and then allegedly said, "I got to go work out." Like, let me let's figure this out. I'm going to sign this, and I'm going to go work out. There are a lot of things that I might say, I'd rather work out, but I think signing like the biggest contract for a defensive player in the league is not one of those things. I'm happy to wait. My workout can wait.
Yeah, I will happily take the money and then just relax and then go work out. But that's just me.
Right. You can't just obviously you still have to work out after you get paid.
Yeah.
But I could take an hour and celebrate that this is a really cool thing. Live in the moment, right? So this Pittsburgh team, they're coming off a demoralizing loss to a division rival that, frankly, I don't think is very good. The Cincinnati Bengals, 24-10. The offense was, let's see, how do I put this? Hot trash against the Bengals. A Bengals defense that I don't think is that great. I mean, their front has played better this year. Is Big Ben is he just washed?
That's a good question. Again, it's still early, but it's not encouraging when you have a guy Big Ben stature playing the way he does. I've already seen people on the Twitter sphere saying they have to trade Big Ben.
Stature. Now, are we talking about
stature,
or are we talking about?
I think both. He's a big dude, and he's got, he's very well known. Obviously, it has not been a very good year for their offense thus far. Only one win to show for it. However, this does not need to be a game where the Packers are, not that they're riding high defensively, but they're like, we played a lot better. But this is not the week where you want to be, we're not going to blitz him. We're not going to make his life uncomfortable. And then Big Ben finds his stride, and then they go and score 20-plus points. That's not what you want to have happen in this game. You want to make it where he's struggling yet again. I don't think he's washed, but it's getting close. Like and with the injury and everything like that, he's still got something in him. If he's not going to get pressure on him, and it's easy for him, he's going to score points with the Steelers offense. But I don't think he's done yet. Maybe at the end of the year, we'll see.
I think he's in the machine. I think he's in the washing machine. They haven't taken him out yet. Right. He's not quite like in the dryer, but like I think the spin cycle is really wringing out those last few drops. And I think we're close to calling it. The problem is they have a lot of talent. They've got a lot of really good receivers. And it is a game, as you said, that if the Packers don't play well defensively, there's plenty of talent on this team to try and get the ball in their hands quickly and tackle. The tackling, though, is something that, I mean, you've been there, you've seen these games. This defense had been atrocious tackling, and through 3 weeks, they've been really good. How much credit do you give Joe Barry for this improvement? Because it's the same guys that last year and the year before that were missing tackles right and left.
Yeah, you have to give him kudos, right? Because there were just some plays where you were like, oh my gosh, that would have been, you could have held him 20 yards less if you had made the tackle.
Right.
And I know it's been so infuriating in the past just watching these defenses not be able to tackle. So whatever he's doing with these guys is clearly working because they're able to get the guys at the sticks. They're able to tackle them really well. And, outside of special teams, which still needs to improve, at least I'm seeing a market improvement defensively. And that's the good thing. And you mentioned the tackling is a huge thing. But I think if they can also just, add in those takeaways, even just one per game or whatnot, I mean, it's going to be good for this team moving forward. But, you got to pressure the quarterback. So the fact that they're blitzing a lot more now is encouraging to see as well. But, man, it's just nice when defenses can tackle, isn't it, Peter?
It's amazing how much better your scheme looks. It's amazing how much faster players seem when you just make the play, just make the easy play, make the tackle in front of you. It really is remarkable. As we finish up here, Lily, I have a very important question for you. Why are the Packers special teams cursed? And do we need to get some sage in there? Do we need to call somebody? Do we need to, the power of Christ compels you? What do we got to do here to fix this? Because this is just, it's year after year after year of this, multiple coaches, multiple players, obviously. What is happening?
I don't know. If I knew, I would be like, hey, Mo, I'm gonna call you up and we're gonna figure this out. It's just perplexing, right? It's perplexing. I mean, obviously it's still week 3, so Amari Rodgers is still a rookie. He's got a lot to learn, but I think a lot of people put a lot of pressure on him to be not the savior for the special teams, but just a spark for the special teams. And it hasn't happened yet. But it's just the lane integrity is so bad. And it's when you're having momentum in a game where you're up 17-0, and then you have this huge return and then they double up, it's kind of deflating for everybody on the team. It's I don't know what they have to do to fix this thing, because it's like you mentioned, there's coaches, new players, new everything, but it still hasn't gotten better. It needs to change, though, because you don't want it to be one of these games where a late kick return for a touchdown is the difference in a game and you lose. So I don't know. Something's got to give, Peter, but I'm hoping that as the weeks go on, that Amari Rodgers gets just a little bit more comfortable and just, can go north-south and just hit some holes and he's gone. But got to see.
What's crazy, too, is it seems like everyone's new favorite punter, the Boho Blast, is doing well. That's what we're calling him.
Oh, I like it.
So shout out to Packers History on Twitter and Michelle Bruton on Twitter. And Mason Crosby, just made a 51-yarder to win a game. He's the most reliable kicker, not named Justin Tucker, in the league right now. And so it's like, how can those two things now be so solidified? They finally have a punter, and the rest of this is just so bad. I don't understand it. But maybe they can get it fixed, or maybe it just doesn't matter. Maybe just like squib kick it on every kickoff, just squib it. Because Bojorquez is doing his job. They haven't had a punt return opportunity, really. Every kick is directionally placed and he's booming these things. So I don't get it. I don't understand it, but maybe they won't have to punt that many times this week, but that's a good way to not worry about it. Just squib it. Just squib it.
Yeah,
that would be great.
How many times do they squib it like in a podcast?
Squib.
Okay.
And we're not even talking, this is not even Harry Potter. A lot of squib talk in that too. We have Packers Steelers, a Super Bowl rematch, which should be fun. And I think the Packers defense, a potential, further opportunity to take some steps here against this group that doesn't block particularly well, an immobile quarterback who does not want to throw the ball down the field. Yeah, they have a chance to get after him. So let's make it 3 in a row, Lily. What do you say? Next week, 3 in a row wins for Zhao. You doing? We would love to see it.
And you know what? I'm going to make a bold prediction. We're going to have a defensive score for a touchdown. Probably
I love
not.
it.
I'm putting it out there.
I love it. You are the queen of we need a turnover here. So I think that's right on your brand for you. I love that. And so let's see it. Lily, I can't wait to see who scores it. I can't wait to see when it's scored, and I can't wait to talk to you about it after you call it. After you call your shot.
I like it. We'll be here to chat about it next week.
All right, I want to thank Lily for joining the show. Always great to talk to her. We have a lot more to come this week, and I'm really excited about all of it. So we're gonna get into that. And remember, I said we are going to have a stream. We are going to have a live stream after the game on Sunday. So just keep an eye out for that. Go subscribe on YouTube. Today's episode is brought to you by Built Bar. Built Bar is the best tasting protein bar on the planet. It's the best tasting protein bar ever. It's the protein bar that tastes like a candy bar in the limited time flavor right now. Cookie dough chunk. I have not yet tried it, but I have been told on good authority it is delicious. All the limited time flavors, they've all been glorious. Each one just as good, if not better than the last. They've got all these terrific base flavors: peanut butter brownie, double chocolate, salted caramel, coconut almond, cherry raspberry, coconut. Just the list goes on, and they're all high in protein, high in fiber, low in net carbs, low in sugar. And I don't know how they do it, but they do it. It's delicious, and you should be eating them. If you're not, go to built.com and use promo code LOCKED15 for 15% off your next order. That's promo code LOCKED15 for 15% off at built.com. And betting on the Packers doesn't have to be a guessing game. If you listen to the new Locked On Bets podcast hosted by your boy Q and handicapping expert Lee Sterling, get daily picks, blowout specials, wrong team favored picks, and Lee Sterling's lock of the day. Follow the Locked On Bets podcast brought to you by betonline.ag, wherever you get podcasts. We're going to be back tomorrow with Chris Carter from Locked On Steelers. He is great, and we're going to be talking about Washed Ben. The clock strike midnight on Big Ben. Thank you. I'll be here all week. Be sure to tip your waitress. And Najee Harris, that running game, the defense, the offensive line, breaking down all of the matchups. And then Friday, we will have our live show that we will make sure that we get working properly. The stream actually works last week, which is great. So we will make sure that is working again. It worked on Sunday as well, Sunday night after the game. So we're going to have some fun with that as well. Follow me on Twitter, Peter_Bukowski. Go subscribe on YouTube. The Locked On Packers feed is on YouTube. Go subscribe to The Leap at theleap.substack.com and subscribe to the podcast, iTunes, Spotify, Google Podcasts, wherever you find podcasts, you will find Locked On Packers. And anytime you want to hit us up on the Locked On Packers fan hotline, you can do that, 920-341-3775 to stay Locked On Packers.